So I am in Cherry Hill right now, and it's one of my favorite places to buy houses because there's just such a wide variety of houses in Cherry Hill, from houses that are just what is called a cream puff house, where it's just in beautiful condition. It's really nice. Landscaping's great. Interior's great. House has been well kept. So that is one of the styles of houses in this area, and it goes to a house that needs like updates as far as it has older carpet, it has pink tile bathrooms, it has all the things that aren't really in style right now, and so it's still in good condition, like still a really good house. It just needs updating. And then there's houses that have not been touched since they were built in 1965, and they need a lot of help. So that is the different kinds of houses, different styles that I like in this area, just due to the age of the area. There, I come up with all different houses. Every phone call that I get is different, and that is a part of what I really love about my job. Is it really allows me to just like put the gloves on and be like, hey, what's going on here? Like, how can we figure this out for this homeowner and really get them the maximum price with the least amount of problems? So I just wanted to go over a couple different houses and how I would work with each one, and this will be a relatively short video, but I just wanted to talk about how, like, let's say a cream puff house. Like, a cream puff house is just absolutely beautiful, like no problems. It had just had its kitchen redone. Its bathrooms are updated, if not totally redone. It could even be a house that was just totally rehabbed. So what I do on a house like that is I more than likely will go ahead and list it. So I'm also a licensed agent. So whatever I don't buy, I list. And so more than likely we will put that house on the open market and see how much we could get for it. I would also recommend discussing doing seller finance or a lease option if you're concerned about where to put your wealth and where to put a lump sum once you receive a lump sum from the settlement. So I would like to talk to you about that as well. If you have a cream puff house, there will not be real estate commission in that too. So you will definitely net the highest amount in the shortest amount of time by selling on seller finance, which I can talk to you about if we set up a Zoom call. So if you're interested in these different multiple solutions, I have my contact information is in the description below, and reach out to me and let's talk about what we can do for your personal situation. So the second kind of house is the family home. All right, so this has been lived in. Let's say they have like 3 teenagers. This house is lived in. It is kind of messy. It might be a little bit dirty, and it's just lived in. You just have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of sports equipment. There is a lot of knickknacks. There are lots of family pictures from all stages of the kids' development. There is a bunch of toys and stuff in the backyard. So the family home is cluttered, and it just needs a little bit of boost to get it to be a cream puff. So a lot of times it does have pretty nice like finishes, and the roof is newer, and the upkeep has been pretty good, but there's just a lot of stuff. So I love home staging. I had a home staging company previously, and so with a house like that, what we would do is stage the house. So I would come in, I would help you decide what to give away, what to keep, what to put in a storage bin, what to designate a space in the basement for, and we will figure out how to get your lived-in home to be a cream puff. And then more than likely we will either list it or do seller finance on it, depending on your situation. So the other type of home is the slight fixer. And what that means, what I mean by a slight fixer, is that the house is still in pretty good condition, but it's pretty dated. So the carpets are older, the bathrooms and kitchen haven't been redone in quite some time. So it's not like in terrible condition. Somebody could probably live in this house, and it's just that it's not that desirable for the large majority of buyers, because most buyers now, both people are working. If it's a couple, both people are working. If it's a single person, that person is definitely working. So they don't want to get involved in all kinds of fixer work because they're busy. It's harder to sell a house like this. Not that there's anybody, because there's crazy people out there like me that work full time and also fix up houses, but this is what I do all the time. So it makes sense for me to buy houses like this. So a house like this, one that needs like just updating throughout, the walls are all different colors, but it's still a pretty good house. A house like that, what I would recommend is either list it and target an FHA 203K buyer, and I can help you with that, and or sell it to me and I will give you cash for the house, or we could again go with some sort of seller finance. So I'd be happy to explain how this would work. but it's harder to sell a house that needs these updates. It takes a longer time. We could also do something that's called wholesale, and what that means is to do a little bit of fix up work and then put it out on the open market. So we could set up seller finance for a short term. You would hold the mortgage, and then I would be able to pay you a higher amount for that house, because I would just go in and just do some fix up work, not replace the kitchens, not replace the bathrooms, not do a whole total rehab, but just make it so it's very neutral, just paint, carpet, and caulk, and a lot of times there's landscaping involved. So if you have We Buy Houses cash people that are offering you a low amount on a house like this, let me know, and I can make arrangements with you to figure out a financial solution, a solution to sell the house fast for the most amount of money, and be able to help you to reach your goals on a house like this. And the fourth kind of house is a total rehab. So this house is just, it needs a lot of repairs. It's unlivable. It may have had water has been leaking in for years. It has structural problems. Maybe it had a fire, just big problems. So houses like this, I would make a cash offer. I wouldn't involve any sort of seller finance, more than likely. I mean, every house is different. Every single person who calls me, I get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you all the time. And I love to figure out a solution for them. So that's really what a large part of my job is to being creative and coming up with solutions for homeowners. So if you have a house like this, we may be able to work out some kind of seller finance situation. I don't know. I would have to find out more about what your situation is, but I can definitely get you the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. So I know it's maybe a hard house to sell. A lot of times there's also an emotional impact. So houses like this may have been in the family and they get passed down through the generations, and people love this house. And so I totally relate with this. I totally understand where you're coming from with having a financial connection to the house and not wanting it to go to someone who's going to demolish the whole house. I like to try to keep the integrity of the house, especially if there's a historical aspect. So there's lots of different ways that we can work together. So my contact information is in the description below. Please contact me and let me know what your situation is. We'll hop on a Zoom call. We'll meet at the house and we will figure out multiple different solutions, and you would just be able to pick the best one. So let me know if you have a house to sell in South Jersey or Pennsylvania. I'm currently buying here. As far as other parts of the country, I have a network of people that I work with that do the same kind of things that I do. So if you have a house in another part of the country, let me know and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you for listening. Talk soon.